Well, if our troubled economy has taught us anything, it's that the less debt you have, the better. And if you've made a get-out-of-debt resolution, personal finance specialist Skip Cowan has the steps that you can take to mend your finances. Hi, Skip.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I need to mend them for sure. Well, I've heard that less than 10% of Americans who make a get-out-of-debt resolution actually keep it. That's like nothing. So why is it such a tough issue? I mean, I know personally, but tell our viewers why overall.
Well, I think that when you look at overall savings rates, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
They're really at their lowest levels than they ever have been, and yet debt continues to grow all the time.
Yes.
We all plan to get out of debt, but it's just, gosh, it's tough.
It sure is.
One of the questions you need to ask yourself is, did you start this year with more debt than you started last year?
And if you did?
Then you're really not serious about getting out of debt.
Ooh, but you know what? But paychecks are going down instead of up because of what happened with the fiscal cliff.
Well, I understand
so we're getting
that.
less money now than we did even before.
But we knew that was coming, did we not?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So, you know, again, as we've talked about time and time again, it comes back to planning.
So what are the 4 things that we should never do then if we're really serious about getting out of debt?
Well, number one is don't start the year with more debt than you had before. I mean, you really have to, you got to make a valiant effort not to do that. Okay. Secondly, I think that people make mistakes sometimes thinking they're going to save money by spending money. For example, you look at gas prices and you say, oh my goodness, $3.50 a gallon? Well, yeah, it shocks me too. Yeah. So you go buy a new car. Right? And your payments go up.
Right, now, right. You have to look at the balance.
Well, how much gas can you spend? I mean, how much gas can you really burn up in a car?
Good point.
At $3.50 a gallon, $1 a gallon, how many gallons do you have to burn up before it just doesn't make sense?
Before it actually balances out for the more money you're spending on the payment. Right.
Now, another mistake people make, and this is a classic.
Okay.
I've made it myself.
Okay.
We think that our income is consistently going to go up every year.
Exactly.
Right. I'm going to get a raise. This is going to happen. I'm going to get more education. I'm getting a new job. So you go out and buy a house, take on more debt, and lo and behold, the income doesn't go up.
Right.
So you're betting on the come, and you can't do it.
And the expenses go up.
Sure. It just makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then the classic, Nikki, this is great.
Okay, here we go.
You want to go on vacation, you look around, you can't afford to go on vacation, right?
Of course.
I mean, Valentine's Day's coming up, be nice to go to a Caribbean island, wouldn't it?
Oh, I'd love that.
So borrow the money to go on vacation.
Borrowing is bad?
Well, of course it is. I mean, for gosh sake, if you can't afford to go on vacation, you can't afford. Do a staycation, okay? Okay. Stay home for crying out loud, but don't put yourself further into debt.
No, it's really good advice because I think what happens is we think, well, I'll just, like you said, I'll just borrow the money. It'll be fine. I'll be making more at this point or that point. And then sure enough, you're just compiling more debt into your
That's exactly what happens. So I think the key really is, and we talked about this really in our show about getting out of debt right after the first of the year, and the key is to get that plan in action, implement it, and stay with it.
And I think if you write down your objectives, it's got to help.
It helps a lot. I think that absolutely makes sense. And check it. If it's something you need to check every day, all right, see how you did today.
It's a good point because when we talk about losing weight or things like that, we write down what we eat all day. We should do the same thing. Write down what we spend and keep a list and keep track.
It's exactly the same thing, I think, in the end, yes.
You always have such good advice. I really have to get better at taking it because I really do value everything you say.
Well,
it's sometimes easier said than done, Skip.
The key is, are you serious about getting out of debt or are you not?
You just got to get serious.
If you're serious, it's doable.
And you always have great tips to make it happen. Thank you so much.
Glad to help.
It's always so
nice
good to
see you.
And you don't want to go away because after the break, Pizza 9 is dishing up Super Bowl party food that everyone can have a piece of.
Cool.